Sincere greetings. My name is Essa Bokarr. We are here again on our new program, which is The Message. The subject matter at hand is the same one that we have begun with. Today, one can say, is the fourth edition. And this subject is franchising Gambians in the diaspora to be voting during local government elections and presidential elections in the Gambia. Indeed, when we say in the Gambia, it means the results will be read in the Gambia to determine the democratic process. Which of course begins with the choice and the voice of the voter, or the voice and the choice of the voter. To that effect, we have already, touched on the initial part of it, which is to raise awareness as to the very essence that is behind the reason why this is important in our democratic dispensation. Because we cannot call it a complete cycle of a democracy in a country, in fact, where people will be selling the idea or singing the song that Gambia's democracy is one of the best in the world and can be compared to countries like the United States. That definitely is not based on facts. We cannot claim to be there without Gambians in the diaspora starting to vote. As promised, that research will be conducted, and then we are going to derive facts, and those facts will determine what will be on the database, and then it will also determine how to approach it by doing data analysis. In this case, we have also sensitized our people to understand that this is a topic we cannot push under the rug, and we need to put it in the open, or bring it in the open, where people will definitely be honest to themselves, to their nation, and to their citizens, to make sure that the cycle we call democracy is complete in the most honest and the most appropriate way. Well, today we are back to discuss two things. During the engagements we have heard with professionals, some are in the Gambia. In fact, we did discuss it with people who are Senegalese professionals who have experiences to share, and then who definitely know how to go about it. One of the topics we discussed during these past days is the comparison between paper ballot and marbles, and also to discuss what is possible and what is impossible as far as what is to be considered legal or otherwise. But we came to stand on the sphere of consensus. And the good news is that when we talk about marbles, the host country where the Gambians live abroad are not the ones to determine how we will vote. What is expected from the host countries is to facilitate it by being aware of the fact that we are beginning to allow, or I would not say allow, but we are beginning to make it possible for Gambians to vote abroad within the framework of law. And those countries, let's say if it is going to be held in an embassy, it is the duty of the host country to provide security and also to make sure that everything is done in an orderly manner. Now, when it comes to whether those host countries would allow people to vote using marbles versus paper ballot. That is a non-starter because it is not the duty of the host country to decide for the country whose citizens want to vote abroad how they are going to vote. Now, it will be part of the logistics and part of what would be organizational and what will be discipline in what is organizational. What do I mean by that? We have political parties on the ground, and we have Gambians who belong to those various political parties in the diaspora. Now, it's an easy fix, definitely where we want to do it. The political parties on the ground would know the mechanism to apply, but our suggestion is for them to have representatives abroad, and they appoint them, of course, with proofs that they are appointed to represent those political parties, and their names be submitted to the IEC. When it is time for them to send their representative, I mean the IEC, those people that are abroad will receive them. We can also make it a point of duty where those marbles will be counted match against the number of registered voters in those particular countries. And then if it is the IEC agent with people that they are traveling with, independent, trusted individuals who have nothing to gain out of siding with any party because they are impartial, and then they will meet their representatives abroad. I mean, they will meet the representative of those various political parties. A venue will be identified, and then the marbles will be with them, and voting will take place in various centers. Well, if we are to make it like they say in the arena of financial discipline, if we are going to say the most cost-effective way of doing it, then we can simply identify 1 or 2 centers in countries like America, 1 or 2 in England and other places, and it will not be too expensive. Then I'm pretty sure that people will be ready to travel from various parts of those countries to come and line up and vote. And then the marbles will be like the number of voters in the country would already be known, and then those traveling will go with that number of marbles with them, or there may be a possibility for those independent people traveling with the IEC, and then the political party representatives in those countries would also agree where the sample of marbles will be sent to them. I'm sure there will be companies in that place that will, produce those number of marbles and then keep them with people who are independent. On the day of voting, they can bring it out and people will come and vote. That's my suggestion. I'm sure there will be people with much better suggestions, okay? But the host country would definitely not have any mandate, neither does it have the legal backing or the legal authority to determine for us as Gambians how we should vote. If we choose to use marbles, the logistics to be able to get those marbles at the at the polling station will be purely ours. What the host country is expected to do, particularly in cases like United States, we all know about the DSS, which is the Diplomatic Secret Service, and other local government law enforcement agents, like the municipalities and all that. It all comes to be discussed. That's why starting this topic now, when we are far away from those elections, is better than waiting until 2-3 months and people will just say we don't have enough time. That's why we are bringing this topic forward for people to start talking about it, discussing it, and then come forward with very good suggestions. It is doable. There is no excuse about it. And like I said, National Democratic Institute is there, Carter Center is there, and other places where people can go to and then discuss it with them. Freedom House is there. Those can even help in getting a sponsorship, because when it comes to law enforcement, whether it is the intelligence agencies or whatever, they would rather participate in what will promote democracy than anything else. And this is one of those reasons why sensitization is very important, because the more we sensitize people to understand, the better it is, and then we will entrench a very good democratic culture within the Gambia like our neighbors have. So thank you very much, and that's why I came to say that when it comes to the topic of paper ballot or marbles, let nobody come and misinterpret these things and then confuse people. It is possible. The host country cannot determine for us what we will use to vote. What they can do is to provide you the security you need at the location. The location can be also be the embassy or anywhere else, and then the logistics as to how the marbles will be there, and the representatives of those political parties in those particular countries will be appointed. They will be identified, and nobody can cheat because they will all be there and watch the voting process. Thank you.